The Galactic Council had seen empires rise and fall across 10,000 cycles. They had witnessed the birth of stars and the extinction of species, but they had never seen anything quite like the humans. Ambassador Kelthrix of the Vorian Dominion stood before the holographic display, his 6 eyes widening in disbelief as the tactical readout updated in real time. The human fleet, outnumbered 3-1 by the dreaded Kha'Zix armada, was not retreating. They were accelerating. "Impossible," Kelthrix whispered, his translator chip struggling to convey the mixture of awe and terror in his voice. "They're charging directly into the swarm." Beside him, High Curator Zelnara of the Ethereal Collective tilted her crystalline head, light refracting through her translucent form. "Perhaps their navigation systems have failed. Surely no species would willingly—" "No," interrupted War Master Thren, his armored carapace clicking as he leaned forward. "Look at their formation. It's deliberate, coordinated." He paused, mandibles twitching. "Suicidal." The Kha'Zix had been the scourge of the galaxy for 3 centuries. Their bioships bred faster than they could be destroyed. Their hunger insatiable, their numbers beyond counting. 17 species had already fallen to their relentless expansion. The Council had calculated that humanity would be the 18th, consumed within a solar month of first contact. The humans had received the Council's message. They had reviewed the tactical data, studied the Kha'Zix strategies, observed the footage of worlds stripped bare. And then, impossibly, they had declined the Council's offer of evacuation. Instead, they had sent a single reply: "We'll handle it." Now, as the assembled representatives of 47 civilizations watched from the safety of their observation stations, humanity's fleet entered weapons range. Admiral Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of the UNSC Indomitable, her eyes fixed on the view screen as the Kha'Zix swarm filled the void ahead. Behind her, the fleet of 200 warships held formation, humanity's entire deep space navy, every vessel they could muster, every weapon they could mount. "Admiral," her tactical officer reported, voice steady despite the odds. "Enemy fleet composition confirmed. 647 bio-cruisers, approximately 3,000 fighter-class organisms. They're moving to envelop us." Chen allowed herself a thin smile. "Let them try. All ships, prepare to execute Protocol Wildfire on my mark." In the Council observation chamber, Kelthrix noticed the human ships beginning to spin, slowly at first, then faster, like dancers in some terrible ballet. Energy signatures spiked across every vessel simultaneously. "What are they doing?" Zelnara asked. Thren's combat-trained mind recognized it first. They're venting atmosphere from every ship, creating a dispersal field around their formation. "But why would—" Kelthrix began, then stopped as understanding dawned with horrifying clarity. The humans had turned their entire fleet into a bomb. "Mark!" Chen's voice rang across every channel. 200 ships opened fire simultaneously. But they weren't targeting the Kha'Zix. They were firing into their own dispersal clouds, clouds now saturated with oxygen, hydrogen, volatile compounds, everything flammable that humanity had brought with them into the void. Space doesn't burn. Every species knew this fundamental truth. Fire requires oxygen and the vacuum offers none. But humanity had brought their own oxygen. And in that moment, they taught the galaxy a new lesson. The clouds ignited, not with the gentle flame of a campfire, but with the fury of 200 thermonuclear detonations. The dispersed matter became a wall of plasma that expanded outward at relativistic speeds, consuming everything in its path. The Kha'Zix swarm, evolved over millennia to survive the cold of space, had no defense against the inferno. Their bioships combusted instantly, organic hulls turning to ash before they could even register the threat. The smaller organisms simply ceased to exist, vaporized in the expanding sphere of fire that grew to engulf millions of cubic kilometers. But the human fleet had already moved. Using the explosion's shockwave, they had catapulted themselves through the gap in the enemy formation, emerging on the other side with weapons blazing. Railguns tore through confused Kha'Zix vessels. Missile volleys found targets with precision that spoke of decades of warfare experience. And when bioships attempted to close for boarding action, the humans didn't hesitate. They rammed them, sacrificing damaged vessels to take out 10 times their number. In the council chamber, no one spoke. They watched as humanity fought with a ferocity that bordered on madness, with a tactical brutality, that made even War Master Thren uncomfortable. The humans didn't just fight to win. They fought to send a message. The battle lasted 4 hours. When it ended, the Kazakhs' armada had been reduced to drifting debris. Of humanity's 200 ships, 73 remained operational. 26,000 human souls had been lost. Admiral Chen stood among the ruins of her fleet, looking at the casualty reports with eyes that had forgotten how to cry. Then she opened a channel to the Council Observation Station. "This is Admiral Sarah Chen of the United Nations Space Command." Her voice echoed across every council chamber, translated into 47 languages. "You asked us to run. We chose to fight. The Kazakhs are defeated. Their homeworld coordinates have been extracted from recovered bioships. We're going to finish this." Kelthrix found his voice first. "Admiral, the Council appreciates your unexpected victory, but surely you cannot be considering an assault on their homeworld. Your fleet is decimated. The losses would be acceptable," Chen interrupted, her tone cold as the void. "We didn't come out here to survive. We came out here to make sure the Kazakhs don't threaten anyone ever again. Every human on these ships volunteered knowing they might not return. We made our choice." She paused, and when she spoke again, there was something terrible in her voice, something that made Kelthrix understand why humanity had survived every extinction event their planet had thrown at them. "Tell the galaxy what you saw here today. Tell them that humans don't run from monsters. We become the bigger monster." The transmission ended. The human fleet, battered but unbroken, oriented toward the coordinates of the Kazakhs' homeworld and engaged their drives. In the council chamber, 47 species sat in stunned silence, processing what they had witnessed. Finally, Zilnara spoke, her voice carrying a note that her species hadn't expressed in millennia. "Fear. We should not have invited them to join the council." War Master Thren shook his massive head. "No, we should be grateful they said yes, because if humanity had decided we were the threat..." He gestured to the tactical display, where the aftermath of the battle still glowed hot against the black. The universe would burn. High above the debate in the cold mathematics of orbital mechanics, humanity's fleet disappeared into faster-than-light travel. Behind them, they left a message written in fire and fury, a warning that would echo across the galaxy for generations to come. Humanity had arrived, and the universe would never be the same.